On Call, this is a cop show, and I'm a cop show person. I think that I have this theory that you're either a doctor show person or a cop show person. I'm a
Great
cop show
theory.
person and a lawyer show person, which is
I was
why
about to
I,
say, what about lawyer shows?
yeah, you
Maybe
have
it's
to tell
like,
Patrick I'm a big Suits fan. So
okay, cool.
there you
Maybe
go.
cops and lawyers get filtered in together. Doctor
They
service.
do. They do sometimes. But I would love to hear from you guys how this cop show is different from, maybe some other ones we've seen. I know you're doing some really unique stuff with the camera shooting and things like that that has kept it very intense. But from your point of view, how's this one different?
Well, absolutely. Like you said, there's a real like verite element with the different kinds of cameras that kind of put you into the position of the characters, so you're not outside witnessing. And then just the fact that it's 30 minutes, as opposed to an hour, it's like over the course of an hour, generally you see a lot of things that have to happen. A story, a whole story that's going to be opened and generally solved by the end of it. And really, our show is just about the relentlessness of being on a shift, that it's call after call after call, and you get these little snippets of their private lives,
Hmm.
maybe in the car in between calls, but then as soon as they get there, it's like they go into go mode. So it is a very different feel in the show.
How was it for you, Brandon, kind of taking on this role as like, the young whippersnapper coming in and trying to learn everything you can from Tracy, who's obviously a veteran, and she's reluctant to take you under her wing because she's got stuff to do. Like she's busy, but you got to come in and kind of, learn from her.
I think it was really interesting because, to your point, Diaz comes into her life at a time where she's just lost somebody really important to her. So, what's interesting to me is the fact that like I myself was learning as we went as Brandon, but also Diaz is also learning how to police and how to basically survive in the streets of Long Beach. So you're kind of witnessing almost like the development of also me as the character, but also me as the human, just trying to figure it out. I think Troy had a really even tougher job because she had to step into the role of an officer who's tenured, who's seen and witnessed a lot of things. So kudos to her because I think she absolutely killed it.
Thank you.
Hmm.
And Troy, how is it for you bringing along this character who she's rough around the edges, I know, but I think she's like that because she's got a lot going on, like Brandon just told us. So how was it bringing that character to like, I feel like that's tricky at times. You have to show that you have heart, but you also like have to kind of have a wall up as a character.
Absolutely. I think that's really, I think Brandon and his work kind of allowed me to do that because it's such an interesting way into a world to be with somebody on their first day on the job. You get to see the vulnerability, and he's so wonderful at letting you into everything that feels overwhelming or infuriating or, exciting. And so I got to, as an actor and as a character, kind of sit back a little bit and play the cards a little bit closer to my vest because I know the audience's heart is going to be with him. And then it kind of became about how over the course of the season, the beautiful writing would let you in on their lives and let you in on Tracy's inner life and the things that she's thinking about and what's going on for her, like little bit by little bit. But like just like she makes Brandon work for it, just like she makes Diaz work for it, we also make the audience work for it. So it was a really just a testament to the writing, and having an amazing scene partner.
Both very dimensional characters, I feel like. It's not like, oh, they're just a cop. Like there's dimension to both of the characters, which I think is so powerful. And also just proving that, cops are real people. I mean, this is real stuff that you guys are bringing to life. Was that, part of the goal and you guys bringing this to screen and the writing, things like that?
Yeah, for me, I think that's one of the things that really stood out to me when I first read it is that it's not just like your typical cop show. It's like you actually, to your point, witness the humanity of these people, and you're also witnessing it at a time during while they're policing during these really high stakes situations. So there is no there's no hiding who they really are. Who you see
Mhm.
on screen eventually comes out, especially when you spend so much time together in a squad car, the way that Tracy and Alex do.
For
And you
sure.
guys got to go on some ride-alongs, if I'm not mistaken, correct? What was that like to be, along where this stuff is happening in real time? This is real life.
I mean, yeah, I would say it was, I mean, incredibly illuminating. It made me really understand how just what it means to be of service to a community, and the gratitude that I had for the officer who took me, under her wing for a day, and the gratitude that every person that she had an interaction with, that's, they were coming to her with some of the maybe some of the worst days of their life or the worst days that they've had in a while, and she was a real beacon of hope and somebody that could help them. And it was really amazing to just watch that, that kind of relationship play out.
Yeah, and you guys now you can say I'm not a cop, but I play one on TV. So you can, if your family gets a little rowdy, out of line, the kids, Troy, and you can just be like, look, I'm not a cop, but I do play one on TV. You better put your toys away.
They have no respect for me. No respect. It does not extend. It does not extend. But I have taken it to saying they're both girls, and I do say, ma'am, you need to put that down. So they now say that to me.